how did you get into like, the radio side and stuff like that, and start going into the paranormal route with all that type of stuff as well?
Again, purely accidental.
Really?
Because
Okay.
I was watching YouTube and I started following Haunted Road Media, which there's a lot of people who run around with flashlights in the dark and they scare themselves silly, right? And that's really not my thing, because I don't go that route. But Haunted Road Media had a lot of really well done, video shorts, like, we're here, we're going to talk about quantum physics, we're going to talk about time travel, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, they did a live show, YouTube podcast, and it was called Edge of the Rabbit Hole. And so I just started watching it, and there was a live streaming chat like y'all have, and so I would just pipe in my questions, and every now and then I would stump the host. It was Mike Ricksecker, and he's like, well, I don't know. And then then he would come up with an answer. And so again, the other co-host, Vanessa Hogel, decided she was going to move on to other projects. And so she told him, okay, I'm out. And so my little voice that I always hear goes, tell him you want the job. I'm like, well, okay. And so by this time, Mike and I were friends. And so I kind of sent him a message and said, I would like to throw my hat in the ring. He goes, okay. Lots of people want this job. And I'm thinking, well, I have no chance because I'm a nobody. I was a master control operator. Nobody knew me. I wasn't famous. Yeah. I didn't have books. Nobody saw my face. Well, it turns out I was the first one he interviewed, for the role, if you want to call it that. I did the first test podcast with him, and he goes, well, let's just keep it, And so I was on there for a couple of years, almost 2 years with him. And it turns out, almost before the show was over, at the very end, we found out that we were cousins, actually.
Wow.
So, what are the odds? What are the odds? Wow. See, it was
the old thing as well, isn't it? It's the old saying, you don't ask, you don't get.
Right.
Talking with the source.